Let's talk with Dallas Cowboys COO Stephen Jones. Sir, how are you this morning?
Well, it's a bittersweet, obviously. The win was huge for us, but at the same time, to lose our leader, our captain, he's just he's our heartbeat. To lose him it's just really just kills you in terms of deep down. And for him, you hurt for everything that he stands for, and it's just I think we're still in shock. But certainly, Dak's such a warrior, and he's been through a lot. And he's always overcome it, and this is going to be no exception. He'll get in here and do what he needs to do. I'm sure, obviously, everybody's prayers are with him. But, he should be able to do what he needs to do to rehab and come back ready to go. And, although it's just a very difficult setback for him and for us, it's something that we, feel great about him totally overcoming and be ready to go next year.
Can you tell us anything about those moments that were shared up there in the box? We saw everyone in the family getting emotional. Can you tell us about any of those interactions, or more specifically about any of the emotions that you had immediately in that moment?
Well, it's just goes without saying. You knew immediately it was, a very, very gruesome and significant injury. And so you can imagine, your feelings. I think so much of that, not the player, but the person, and knew what must be going through his mind. He's such a competitor and loves his games and loves his teams. And, just wild ranges of emotion. And I went down to see him in the locker room immediately, right after it happened. We got him in there, and he's special. It's special.
Stephen, have you talked with him personally since the injury last night?
Yes, I talked to him last night after the injury.
And that conversation with him, what was that conversation like?
It's just, it's obviously, how much our prayers are with him, how much we believe in him, how much we're going to miss him, but at the same time knows that he's going to come back better, stronger, better than ever. So, he's our face of our franchise, and to have him and know that he'll overcome this. He's a driven, special man.
And Stephen, the Cowboys' stance, and you've made it pretty clear already this morning, the stance has been that the plan was for Dak to be the Cowboys' quarterback for the long haul, and that was Dak's message too. After yesterday, did that change, and do you see that changing in the future?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's our future. Special. Anyone can overcome anything and beat Dak. This is something that our doctors feel good that he'll overcome and come back better than ever.
Stephen, when it comes to that, I was asking on social media for kind of doctors to give us an idea. Is this a 4 to 6 month injury? What's the hope when he can be back and kind of practicing with you guys again?
I think it's premature to go there just yet. I want to learn more as we move forward here before we make any of those type of comments. I just think it's early on right now. I don't want to be totally unfair. Just say right now, and feel very good that he can come back better and stronger than ever.
So last night I'm watching Sunday Night Football, and Tony Dungy is talking about the injury, and I know I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that this could be something where Ezekiel Elliott really steps up in your identity, could be maybe more of a running team for the rest of the 2020 season. Can you speak on maybe where the offense is going to go without Dak?
Well, first of all, I'd say that we're so fortunate to have Andy Dalton, and he's just been a pleasure to have since the day he walked in the door, and we certainly can be very aggressive passing football team. He's obviously not going to have the mobility that Dak has, but he was certainly, as you saw yesterday, when we had to have him making tremendous throws down the field, and he's a pro. He's led his team to the playoffs. He's a winner. Like everything about it. As far as our strategy, and as far as, what type of offense we're going to be, yesterday, I think epitomized what we want to be. We were real close in there, the 50-50 run pass. Unfortunately, we've just put ourselves behind the eight ball in so many games that this year, especially the first four, that you just had to get away from that. Yesterday we were able to make 14 points up in fairly quick order and get back to where we could play, Cowboy football. Obviously, it's not always going to be perfect in terms of the 50-50, but, when you got a player like Steve, you got to utilize him. He showed you yesterday, whether he's catching the ball out of the backfield, whether he's running the football, his physicalness is nothing but a positive and a huge asset for our football team.
Talking with Stephen Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. Now, last week, we talked a lot about the idea of confidence. What I'm curious about is, does getting a win over a divisional opponent automatically give you confidence, or does the fact that even before the injury, if we're being honest, the team was struggling against one of the, to this point, worst teams in the NFL? So does confidence come with this win or not?
I think we made steps, and I think the team's gaining confidence. I think, the one thing that keeps rearing its head are the turnovers. And we lost the turnover battle again yesterday, which, most of the time you're not going to win the game when you lose the turnover battle. We lost 2-1 yesterday. Obviously, had the huge sack fumble for a touchdown that really, zeroed out their pick six. So, we've got to quit putting, which we did again. We put ourselves 14 points down before we looked up. And we picked that up before halftime, and then we were able to play good, solid football and, really put ourselves, in jeopardy of losing that game with another turnover. So, those are the things we've got to eliminate. If we eliminate those and we continue to make strides on defense, it's fairly easy for anybody to see the type of firepower we have on our offense. Certainly we're going to miss tremendously. But, you look at our wideouts, not just our top three, but our top five wideouts. Dalton Schultz has just done an amazing job filling in for Blake Jarwin, and certainly our running backs, Zeke and Pollard. We've got a really formidable group, and we're having to, as everybody knows, piecemeal the offensive line group together a little bit right now, but they're doing an admirable job, and we feel good we can have a really good football team.
Something I don't want to lose in the offensive and defensive discussion is special teams. What has been your thoughts about special teams right now? Because obviously a penalty helped out what could have been a disastrous special teams play yesterday.
And it's the same thing. We've just got to continue, to really digest the staff, the players. They've got to, really get our culture right, and same holds true for special teams. We all know John Fossil's one of the top guys in the league, and I think ultimately the cream rises to the top. And obviously had to overcome some tough situations. We did get out on a pretty creative play by the Giants at a penalty nullified, and certainly we gave them 3 points on having too many men on the field. Those are the things that go right along with the turnovers that we've got to eliminate. If we do that, certainly we're going to be a much better football team.
Stephen, what is the current plan? Are y'all looking at other potential backup quarterbacks, or is DiNucci the plan going forward?
Well, right now it's DiNucci, and, I'll go back to it again. We're always looking at player acquisition 365 days a year, and we'll continue to do that. It's the ways to improve the football team. Obviously, this is kind of an unprecedented season in terms of what's available out there, but continue to work and do everything we can to.
Stephen, last week you were talking highly about Tristan. Oh, Stephen, I think we're losing you. Can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. So when it comes to Tristan Hill, you're speaking highly about him last week. Unfortunately, we find out that he is also done for the season. How tough is it right now at your defensive tackle position?
Well, as you know, we lost McCoy early, and both of them played the same spot, the under tackle. But we've got a good depth in the defense.
We lost him.
Part of what the league is right now. We're having our challenges, and we'll accept those, and we'll go to work, and we'll get better.
Amari Cooper played about 64% of the snaps yesterday. That was pretty low. Is he okay, or was that a usage thing? What was going on there?
Yeah, he's a few little things he's dealing with, and we just felt it was in our best interest, his best interest, not to overdo him yesterday. Obviously, he's an explosive guy. He's one of the top receivers in the league, but it's a long season, and certainly as everybody's seeing, Ced Wilson and Noah Brown are stepping up as well, and it felt like that was the best thing for us yesterday.
Are there any other injury concerns coming out of the game yesterday that you can tell us about?
No, on a positive note, I think Van Der Esch back, and Cam Irving should be coming back at tackle. So, those things are positives, and we got more coming. After that, we'll have, we should be getting back in fairly quick order. Cheeto and Andy Gregory will start to work his way in the defensive line. So, we have some positives that are coming our way on the injury front, which is certainly helpful.
Do you feel as though, because I don't know how much you've seen fan reaction, or maybe that's just based off of some of the questions we've asked. Do you feel as though maybe too much negativity surrounding this, when everything for Dak is understandable, but we should be excited that a win did happen?
No, I don't concern myself with people who aren't with us day in and day out. I mean, certainly just can never appreciate our fan base and you guys do covering our team. And, I understand concerns. I mean, we're certainly didn't get off to the start we get off to. I can see we're fans. I can see where, certainly the pundits and the media have certainly had their reasons to have their concerns, but we control what we can control, and that's we go to work. We've got to go to work this week. We've got to continue to get better, and I think we got one of the best coaches in the National Football League, and Coach McCarthy. I think we've got a great staff. I think we've got really good football players, and we've got to do the things that we can do to make us better and control what we can control, and we'll be a much better football team.
Kevin, he's clearly talking about us as pundits because that's what we do. Steven, I did want to ask though, because Nolan goes down to the sideline and Jalen Smith has the best game that we've seen from him so far. How much do you think that affected their ability to communicate and get out there and do the things that he does well with his instincts?
I'm sorry, I missed that question.
Oh, Jalen Smith and having Mike Nolan on the sideline, how much do you think that helped with their communication? Because Jalen had the best game so far this season.
Absolutely. I thought Jalen did a great job responding. And, of course, Mike's, helping, our defensive group understand what he's trying to get accomplished. And, I'm for anything that will help us continue to continue to get better and be able to execute and gain confidence as a defensive unit, because I'm very convicted that we have really good football players. We've just got to have them play with confidence, and we saw some of that yesterday. I thought we got some great pressure on Jones, the quarterback, and, hats off to him. I mean, he's an athletic, strong guy. And not many guys get away from Aldon Smith once he gets a hand on you. And, he made some really good athletic plays out there, but I did start to, feel and see that playing faster and got after the quarterback pretty good and pushed him into some throws that he might normally make. So, I just feel like this thing will continue to get better as we go. And as I said, we've got one of the best head coaches in the National Football League and a great staff and a good group of players.
We appreciate your time this week, as we appreciate having you on every single week. Thanks a lot, Steven.
Appreciate you. Thanks.